so there's a bunch of noise going on, so I figured I'd just maybe show you a little bit more large flake reduction with the Antler billet. Not really, I'll just check this in as, I don't know, extra or something. Maybe if it turns out it's alright. I don't know. Figured I've got the camera right here, I might as well turn the camera on while I'm doing it. That was one nice little Arrowhead flake. But most of these break up, which is a little annoying. That would have been a great flake. So you can see the platforms are a little bit different when you're using Antler relative to copper. But you can take nice flakes off. It's just they seem to break more, which is a little bit unfortunate. That's a nice flake. Set that aside. That'll make a nice one. Maybe that's healed. Doubt it, but. Oh, I got this down to a point that I don't think I can really deal with more with Antler. There's another nice little flake for an arrowhead. Figure right now, because it's so noisy, you can just have like a little let snap. I don't know, shouldn't be an excuse for bad background noise, but let's I want to do a series where I go through and try and make, eventually, and might sound ambitious, but every single type of arrowhead. Start out in North America, maybe the Pacific Northwest, but eventually work my way down, do a good example of every single one with a video of it. I'll start probably alphabetical, and I'll just go on to there's a website. I'll put a link in the description. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I want to call that series Let's Knap, and we'll talk, and we'll just I'll take suggestions for what type of point you want to see next. But right now this will be good for point types that kind of require tough material to look good. Certain kind of cruder points. I'm not going to go all experimental archaeology on you guys and make it historically accurate or anything, but I will so I'll be using modern tools, except for right now, unless I feel like doing other things. It's pretty preliminary steps, but I want to make it kind of more approachable, engage. Like, there's only so many flintknapping videos you can watch. I mean, maybe not. Maybe you can just keep watching them forever, but it'd be nice to have kind of a theme going, you know, rather than just hitting rock. And tips. So maybe when we have the let's knap, I'll show you a picture of the point that we're going to try and make, and then we can work towards making it. Maybe just talk about stuff. I don't really want to talk politics or anything, but we can talk about geology, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't really want to talk politics, because that's something I like to try and stay away from. Everybody has different opinions about it, and then once you start talking about politics, you become you divide the audience. So. And I'm not looking to do that. So I'm just going to continue kind of working this down, taking little usable flakes off of. Might actually be able to put this into the other video. I kind of made one where I was trying to make well, the obsidian video that I've paused right now. I'm filming this in between having made this, because there's a chainsaw going non-stop, as well as people with like maybe a great big truck pulling out logs and maybe even chipping it up. So anyways, probably dates this video a fair bit, but not too worried about that. This is cool. I haven't really used this in a long time. It's quite different. Like flakes that you should be able to take with copper just don't quite work the same. So it's a bit of a learning curve for me too. There we go. Wow, that's a nice flake. That'll make a great point if I don't break it. So there's actually a cool story about this chert. I'll probably tell it again when I'm making arrowheads out of it, but it's radiolarian chert, and radiolarians are little ocean organisms that some people have spent a lot of time studying and figuring everything out about them, where they lived, when they lived, and when you go and look at them, or get an expert to look at them, you can tell where they're from, what time range, to a pretty well certain, like a decent degree of certainty for them, because they were pretty fast evolving, widespread organisms. So if you look in here, actually, you can kind of see, I'll get it wet. Since it's raining, we can just dip my finger into a puddle here. You'll be able to see it. No, you won't. There we go. So if you look here, see these black spots? That's not just shininess. It's actually kind of what the radiolarians look like. Normally they're just little black spots. These ones are kind of grouped together and might not even be the same, but that's what they kind of look like. They're just little circles. And people can take thin sections of them, which is you go and cut the rock really fine and look at it under a petrographic microscope, and you can tell things about them. So, just kind of cool. It's neat to know, and this actually does help with understanding the geology of Cache Creek, where I found the rock. So, kind of a cool little aside. That's maybe something that we can talk about a little bit if I know a little something about the geology behind the rocks. Let me know if you're interested in that. But yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll call this little core done. Maybe work it with copper later. But I'll show you the flakes that we've gotten off of it. It didn't go nearly as well. So the flake taking didn't go nearly as well when I first worked that piece of rock. I was kind of rushing, I guess, and it just didn't work out so well. This material looks quite a bit like novaculite or onondaga, and I'd probably have to go and look at where they're from and kind of do a little assessment of the geology, but they're probably fairly similar. Chert is chert after all. It's just microcrystalline quartz. It's actually quite common. I didn't realize how common it was until I started looking at geology maps. Most of the time it's completely unusable, but it's one of the most common rock types worldwide, which is cool. So let's that was taking some flakes. It's the first Let's Knap. I'll do a little intro, and thanks for joining me. We'll if you have suggestions, leave the suggestions for what type of point. You know what? First, it's the first time. Let's turn this into a little desert side notch. That'll be a nice, easy, quick point. And then I will take suggestions. I'll take suggestions once we're done. I probably will upload a few more videos or film a few more videos before I take suggestions. But leave them now. It'll probably take a little while before I get to them, and eventually I hope to get through every single point type. It's a little bit ambitious, I know, but that's okay. Ambitions are good.